Hello friends. What happens when the blazing charisma of a Leo meets the grounded loyalty of a Chinese zodiac dog? You get a rare fusion of fire and earth, a personality both commanding and compassionate, regal yet refreshingly real. It's a cosmic paradox that births some of the most intriguing individuals out there. So today, we're diving deep, and I mean deep, into the psyche of people born under this rare astrological combination. Leo in the Western zodiac, dog in the Chinese zodiac. We'll uncover how they love, marry, build businesses, make friends, and yes, what lurks in their darker corners. Buckle up, because Leo dogs aren't just main characters, they're the ones who rewrite the whole story. The Leo dog in love, loyal hearts with roaring passion. Love, for the Leo dog, is not just a feeling, it's a mission. A sacred contract. A spiritual calling dressed in bold colors, grand gestures, and fierce emotional investment. Their idea of romance isn't passive or fleeting. It's deep, intentional, and often overwhelming in its intensity. While others might date to pass time or test the waters, Leo dogs are searching for the one. The soulmate, the life partner. They aren't here to dabble, they're here to build something unshakable. Leos, ruled by the radiant sun, crave adoration. Not just attention, but sincere, soul-fueled admiration. They want to be seen, valued, and celebrated. Their ideal romance feels like an epic tale, dramatic, passionate, and unforgettable. But when that fiery Leo nature meets the loyal, reserved dog from the Chinese zodiac, something rare happens. The desire for admiration meets a profound need for emotional honesty. Leo dogs don't want shallow flings or empty flattery. They crave depth, real connection, someone whose words match their actions, whose love is both loud and true. These people don't fall fast. Despite their Leo bravado, the dog's caution slows things down. They scan people, they watch, listen, test, and observe before giving their heart. They'll analyze your integrity, study how you treat waiters, watch how you handle stress. It might seem like they're aloof at first, but that's just the dog sniffing out danger before committing. And when they finally fall in love, it's a free fall into forever. No hesitation, no safety net, just raw, open-hearted devotion. Protectiveness runs deep in Leo dogs. They don't just love you, they guard you. They stand between you and the world. Their instinct is to shield, nurture, and defend. That protectiveness can sometimes bleed into jealousy, not the toxic, controlling kind, but the "I love you too much to share your emotional space with anyone" sketchy kind. They want to know you're theirs, emotionally, spiritually, and often physically. When they feel secure in the bond, they relax. But if they sense a threat, their quiet loyalty turns into roaring suspicion. They're the kind of lovers who'll show up at your doorstep with flowers and solutions. Had a hard day? They've already made you a custom Spotify playlist, called your favorite takeout place, and rewritten your resume. Too much? Maybe, but it's how they show love, through action, through thoughtfulness, through effort. A Leo dog isn't content to just say, "I love you." They want to prove it, daily. In texts, in surprises, in sacrifices. Love is their full-time job, and they refuse to underperform. But here's the catch. Leo dogs need to feel appreciated. It's not just a preference, it's emotional oxygen. If they go days without hearing thank yous, compliments, or affirmations, they begin to unravel. Not dramatically, quietly, they become distant, their flame dims. It's not vanity, it's vulnerability. Because when they love someone, they give up their armor. And if that love is met with indifference, betrayal, or neglect, it shatters them. Cheat on a Leo dog, and you won't get fireworks, you'll get ice. A lock on the door. Silence that speaks louder than screams. At their best, Leo dogs are radiant lovers, brave, romantic, funny, and endlessly devoted. They'll brag about you to strangers, defend your honor, and memorize your favorite coffee order. But their love is a two-way street. If you meet them halfway, with loyalty, attention, and sincerity, you'll have a partner who turns ordinary life into something legendary. And if you don't, you'll awaken the fierce, heartbroken lion inside, the one who never forgets who broke their heart. Let them love you loud, but love them back, just as fiercely. Because behind their glow is a soul that's been waiting a long time for something real. Marriage, where royalty meets responsibility. Marriage with a Leo dog is not a casual agreement, it's a sacred union they take as seriously as a crown placed on their head. These individuals don't just want a partner, they want a co-ruler. A co-architect, someone to build an empire of love, trust, and shared purpose with. Even if their earlier years were marked by flirtation or a string of fleeting romances, deep down, Leo dogs are wired for monogamy. They're not built for emotional chaos, they crave constancy, commitment, and a relationship that grows deeper and more meaningful over time. In marriage, the Leo side of their personality takes center stage during life's celebrations. They put great emphasis on anniversaries, birthdays, and holidays, not because they love rituals for rituals' sake, but because they view these moments as milestones of love. They don't do bland, they do curated playlists, themed dinners, surprise weekend getaways, and heartfelt speeches that make people cry. These are the partners who turn even a Tuesday night dinner into an event. To them, marriage is not just a legal bond, it's a legacy built moment by moment, memory by memory. Then comes the dog, the humble realist beneath the golden mane. While the Leo may plan the candlelight dinner, the dog made sure the bills were paid, the kids were picked up, and there's a contingency plan if the dishwasher breaks. The dog side handles logistics, future goals, household management, and quiet acts of service. They are the rock beneath the roar. While the Leo basks in applause, the dog is already 3 steps ahead, ensuring stability. Together, these two archetypes create a partnership that is both romantic and sustainable, rare in any zodiac combination. Leo dogs naturally take the lead in their relationships, not out of ego, but out of instinct. They feel responsible for the emotional and physical well-being of their partner. If you're feeling down, they'll try to fix it. If you're in danger, they'll jump in front of the bullet. This isn't toxic masculinity or outdated gender roles, this is a cosmic contract. Whether they're male, female, or non-binary, Leo dogs are emotionally wired to be protectors. In their mind, being a good spouse means being the one who holds the line when everything else falls apart. They'll never just walk beside you. A Leo dog spouse stands in front of you when life gets hard. They'll hold your hand through grief, advocate for you in hospitals, and fight battles you didn't even know existed. Their sense of duty is profound. If the roof leaks, they'll climb up and patch it. If you're emotionally drowning, they'll dive in without hesitation. They don't flinch in crisis, they thrive in it. But this can come at a cost. They often shoulder too much. They don't ask for help. Their love can become exhausting if you don't remind them that they don't have to carry it all alone. And yet, for all their strength and devotion, Leo dogs have an Achilles heel: trust. They give it slowly, but once they do, they place their heart in your hands without armor. Betray that trust, even subtly, and it cracks their foundation. They're not quick to anger, but they are quick to retreat. Question their motives, disrespect their loyalty, or play emotional games, and they may go silent. Not loudly, not dramatically, just a slow withdrawal into a quiet corner of the soul you'll never be invited back into. Once they feel emotionally unsafe, they disappear in plain sight. Their silence isn't punishment, it's self-preservation. A Leo dog would rather suffer alone than argue with someone they can no longer believe in. And once that line is crossed, it's rarely repaired. They can forgive, but they never forget. Their memory is precise, their boundaries fierce. And it's not out of cruelty, it's because they built the marriage with all they had. If it crumbles due to dishonesty or betrayal, they take it personally. Not just as a failed relationship, but as a failed mission. But when you nurture their trust, honor their efforts, and love them without manipulation or mind games, Leo dogs blossom into the kind of spouses that novels and songs are written about. They're charismatic, loyal, hilarious, creative, and deeply nurturing. They'll plan your future, spoil you with thoughtful details, stand by you through illness, and make sure your life together feels like a fortress, safe, strong, and filled with light. Marry a Leo dog, and you're marrying a warrior with a poet's heart. A protector with a performer's flair. A realist with a dreamer's vision. Give them loyalty and love, and they'll give you a lifetime you'll never want to leave. Sex. Fire with a fierce heart. Sensuality is not optional for a Leo dog, it's essential. It's how they connect, how they express their most vulnerable self, and how they feel truly seen and alive. Their sexual energy is like a perfectly balanced flame, steady enough to warm you, powerful enough to burn through pretense. When they step into intimacy, they bring presence, intention, and undeniable magnetism. They don't just want to have sex, they want to create an experience that lingers in your skin, your breath, your memory. It's part performance, yes. Leos love to captivate, but it's also steeped in raw emotional truth. The dog inside them ensures it's never just about ego, it's about devotion. Their approach to sex is deeply rooted in affection. A Leo dog will touch your body like it's sacred and speak to you like your poetry. They love to be admired, yes, they glow under your gaze, but they're not vain. They seek connection, not just applause. The confidence they carry into the bedroom is built on their desire to please, to protect, to elevate the experience into something meaningful. They'll pay attention to every detail, your reactions, your hesitations, the rhythm of your breath. For them, intimacy is a dance between emotional understanding and physical pleasure, where both partners should feel cherished, seen, and thoroughly satisfied. Leos are ruled by pleasure, they live for it. The touch of silk, the taste of something sweet, the slow curl of anticipation, they crave all of it. The dog, however, brings in a contrasting but equally powerful force: generosity. Loyalty, a selfless need to give pleasure, not just receive it. So what do you get when you combine a Leo's hunger with a dog's heart? A bedroom hero, someone who isn't trying to dominate you, but rather to worship you. They want to know your fantasies, and they want to make them real. Not just for the thrill, but because your satisfaction is their highest reward. While they absolutely appreciate rhythm and routine, building a predictable rhythm can deepen their trust. Leo dogs are far from boring. They'll surprise you when you least expect it. Maybe it's an impromptu getaway that ends in a candle-lit hotel room. Maybe it's a slow, wordless morning full of sensual silence. Or maybe it's just a look, intense, playful, promising, that tells you tonight will be different. And yet, despite their flair for drama and spontaneity, casual sex is not their thing. They need trust. They need to feel emotionally safe, understood, and bonded. For them, great sex starts in the soul, and only then does it move to the body. Emotional connection is their biggest turn-on. They crave eye contact that says, "I see you." They want laughter, shared, spontaneous, unguarded, in the spaces between kisses. They are masters of aftercare, often lingering in the moment long after the climax has passed. They'll stroke your hair, wrap you in warmth, and whisper things that make you feel like the only person in the world. It's never just physical, it's emotional architecture. It's soul-to-skin intimacy, designed to make you feel safe and adored. But be warned, their pride runs deep. If you mock their performance, dismiss their effort, or treat sex like a task to check off, the fallout will be swift and sharp. A Leo dog gives everything in bed, but they need to feel appreciated. If you insult their sexual confidence, it cuts far deeper than you think. You may see the lights go out behind their eyes. They might withdraw, get quiet, or, in extreme cases, shut down entirely. Not because they're petty, but because you've injured their most vulnerable self. They carry their sensuality with power, grace, and purpose, but always with pride. Handle it with care, show them they're wanted, admired, and trusted, and they'll give you a sexual connection that feels like poetry written in fire. Betray that trust, and you'll be left chasing shadows of the flame that once burned for you. With a Leo dog, sex isn't just about pleasure, it's about presence. And when they choose to share themselves with you, it's not just their body you're touching. It's their heart, their loyalty, and their unshakable belief that intimacy should be nothing short of transcendent. Friendship, the ride or die type. Loyalty is not a choice for Leo dogs, it's their default setting. It runs through them like marrow in their bones. These are the friends who will cancel their own plans just to sit with you while you cry over something you can't even articulate yet. If you're in trouble, you won't even have to ask, they'll sense it, show up, and handle it. No dramatics, no conditions, no bias. They treat your pain like it's their own and your victories like they're personally responsible for them. To be loved by a Leo dog as a friend is to have a living, breathing shield at your side, protective, proud, and always ready to throw down for you, metaphorically or otherwise. Their friendship isn't loud at first. Leo dogs are charismatic, yes. They draw people in with their warmth and confidence. They light up a room, make you feel like the most interesting person in it, and know exactly when to drop the perfect one-liner to diffuse tension or win someone over. But underneath that sunny Leo charm is the quiet, watchful energy of the dog, always observing, always evaluating. They may have a long list of acquaintances, but when it comes to real, ride-or-die friendships, they're extremely selective. It takes more than laughter and shared interests to get inside their trust circle, it takes character. That dog energy brings skepticism, and with good reason. Leo dogs are deeply wary of shallow bonds. They've seen too many friendships built on convenience collapse at the first sign of conflict. They don't want small talk buddies. They want people who show up, who speak truth, even when it's hard, who aren't threatened by their success or put off by their intensity. Their inner circle is a tightly woven fortress, built slowly, brick by brick, through years of shared loyalty, unspoken understanding, and late-night talks that go from laughter to tears and back again. And once you're inside that fortress, you're family. Period. Their ideal friends are genuine, emotionally grounded, and loyal to the core. They won't tolerate manipulation, flakiness, or ego-driven drama. They hate people who compete with their friends instead of celebrating them. And if they feel used, if they sense they're just being kept around for convenience or clout, they'll ghost you with the precision of someone who has cut toxic people before, and will do it again. They're allergic to freeloaders, energy vampires, and anyone who can't show up with honesty and consistency. But if you're real with them, even in your flaws, they'll ride with you to the ends of the earth. Need a pep talk at your lowest moment? A Leo dog won't just give you one, they'll build one. Think snacks, music, motivational speeches, probably a dramatic gesture like a handmade card or a personalized meme folder. They are emotional first responders. They'll remind you who you were when you've forgotten. They'll validate your anger, cheer your wins, and call you out if you're self-sabotaging, not out of judgment, but because they believe in you more than you believe in yourself. They're the kind of friends who hype you like you're about to win an Oscar just for getting out of bed and putting on pants. But with all that loyalty comes one iron rule: do not betray them. Don't lie, don't gossip behind their back, and for the love of everything sacred, don't betray their secrets. They may not scream or slam doors, that's not their style. What they do is worse: they disappear. With quiet grace and chilling finality. They won't beg, they won't explain, they won't fight. They'll just go, and when a Leo dog walks away, they don't come back. Because to them, betrayal doesn't just break trust, it breaks the identity of the friendship. And once broken, they don't see the point in rebuilding what can never feel the same. In the end, being friends with a Leo dog is like having a personal champion in your corner. They'll celebrate you louder than anyone, protect you harder than most, and give more of themselves than they probably should. But that's who they are, loyal to the last breath, fierce in their love, and impossible to replace once lost. Treat them with the same care and integrity they offer so freely, and you'll have a friend who makes every high higher, and every low a little more survivable. Business, natural leaders with built-in integrity. A Leo dog in business is a rare breed, a blend of charisma and conscience, ambition and accountability. These are the people who can walk into a room and instantly command attention without saying a word. They don't have to bark orders or use intimidation tactics to lead. They lead by presence, by action, and by example. Their leadership style is firm but fair, and their confidence isn't loud or arrogant, it's rooted in self-knowledge and purpose. When they speak, people listen, not because they fear them, but because they respect them. That's the power of a Leo dog in the professional world. They don't manipulate respect, they earn it. Leos are naturally ambitious, competitive, and spotlight-friendly. They want to shine, and they usually do. But the dog in their chart tempers that fire with grounded principles. They don't chase success at any cost. They want their wins to mean something. Integrity is their compass. They'd rather turn down a deal than cut corners. They value relationships with clients, coworkers, and employees, and work hard to maintain trust. Their version of success is never just numbers and titles, it's legacy, impact, and making sure everyone on the team feels seen and valued. They don't just want to win, they want to win the right way. In the workplace, they gravitate toward leadership, not just because they're good at it, but because they genuinely care about the growth of others. They're natural mentors. If you're on their team, they'll notice your potential even when you don't. They'll push you, coach you, and sometimes challenge you, but it's never about dominance. It's about elevation. They rise quickly through the ranks not because they play political games, but because people trust them. They handle pressure with grace, take responsibility when things go wrong, and share credit generously when things go right. They want to build organizations where people matter as much as profit. Strategically, Leo dogs are a dream. They're not impulsive risk-takers like some other fire signs, but they're far from cautious to a fault. They know when to take a calculated risk, and when to walk away. Every move they make is filtered through a strong internal system of ethics, logic, and long-term vision. They don't just chase trends, they build brands. They don't just launch businesses, they nurture them. They bring structure, discipline, and passion into every project, making sure the foundation is strong enough to weather any storm. And if you're lucky enough to build something with them, you'll feel like you're contributing to something meaningful, not just profitable. But all that power comes with a price: burnout. Leo dogs have a tendency to carry the entire team on their back, emotionally, logistically, energetically. They won't complain. They won't ask for help. They'll just keep pushing, day after day, until one morning they crash, hard. The dog makes them loyal to a fault. They don't want to disappoint anyone. The Leo makes them feel like they have to be strong, even when they're falling apart. They struggle with delegation not because they don't trust others, but because they fear letting people down. Learning to step back, to rest, to let go, that's their biggest growth edge in business. When they do learn to delegate and prioritize their well-being, Leo dogs become unstoppable. Their balance of heart and hustle, ambition and accountability, makes them ideal entrepreneurs, executives, and team leaders. They don't just chase results, they create movements. They inspire loyalty in others because they give loyalty so freely. They build businesses that last because they build cultures that care. And in a world that often rewards shortcuts and shallow wins, the Leo dog stands out as a symbol of what true leadership can look like when it's powered by purpose. Dark sides, the shadows behind the sun. Every bright soul casts a shadow, and with Leo dogs, that shadow is as deep as their loyalty is strong. Their strength, while dazzling, comes with edges that can cut both ways. They walk through life armored in confidence and purpose, but when that armor is pierced by betrayal, disrespect, or neglect, the lion doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it simply disappears. And in that vanishing act lies the root of their darkness: silence, pride, and a storm that brews behind stillness. Pride is a Leo's birthright. It fuels their ambition, fuels their confidence, fuels their magnetic presence. But left unchecked, that same pride can calcify into ego. Constructive feedback starts to feel like personal attack. Being wrong becomes unacceptable. They can become overly defensive, even passive-aggressive, masking hurt with a superiority complex. The dog in them, who craves respect and consistency, amplifies this tendency, turning healthy self-worth into an inflated sense of moral high ground. They may start to believe they know what's best for everyone, dismissing opposing viewpoints not with malice, but with quiet contempt. And worse, they often don't realize they're doing it until someone calls them out, at which point, they may double down instead of reflect. Their loyalty, while admirable, can harden into possessiveness. In close relationships, Leo dogs can blur the line between protectiveness and control. They don't mean to be suffocating, they just want to keep their loved ones safe, emotionally and otherwise. But in their mission to safeguard, they can begin to micromanage. Their partner's independence might feel like a threat. They may try to steer decisions, monitor choices, or overstep boundaries, all under the banner of care. And when the other person pulls back, they feel wounded, confused, even betrayed. What was meant to be loyalty starts to feel like a cage. They rarely notice it until the other person breaks free. One of their deepest vulnerabilities lies in their need for appreciation. Leo dogs want to be seen, not in a shallow, praise-hungry way, but in a "recognize what I do for you" way. When they give their love, effort, or protection, they do so fully. But if they sense that those acts go unnoticed or unreciprocated, a dangerous loop can begin. They may try to earn that appreciation in increasingly intense ways, giving more, doing more, sacrificing more, until it becomes a subtle form of manipulation. Look how much I give. Look how much you owe me. It's not always conscious, but it can corrode the connection. If the other person still doesn't respond, the Leo dog might lash out or withdraw completely, feeling unvalued and resentful. Unlike other fire signs who might erupt in a burst of rage, Leo dogs process pain differently. They simmer, they plan, they vanish. Their silence isn't passive, it's tactical. They may continue smiling, nodding, acting polite, all while building emotional distance. They don't like confrontations that feel chaotic or messy. Instead, they pull away slowly, quietly, and with finality. One day, the calls stop, the warmth disappears, the jokes fade, and if you ask what happened, they might just say, "Nothing." But don't mistake that for truth, it's everything. They just no longer feel safe enough to let you in. In friendships, their protective streak can morph into silent judgment. If a friend crosses a line, Leo dogs don't always express their disappointment, they just store it away. Their grudges are long-lived, not because they're spiteful, but because they remember who they trusted and how it ended. They don't forgive easily, and they almost never forget. That memory is like a ledger they keep tucked behind the smiles, an invisible list of slights and betrayals that continues to shape their boundaries long after the incident has passed. In the workplace, their ambition and sense of duty can lead to overextension. They take on too much, refuse to delegate, say yes when they should say no. The dog's desire to serve meets the Leo's need to prove themselves, and suddenly they're working 16-hour days, taking on emotional labor for the whole team, and burning out while pretending to be fine. When things eventually collapse, they rarely ask for help. They just retreat, quietly resentful, silently exhausted. And the wound they carry deepest? Betrayal. If you lie to them, humiliate them, or break a promise, especially one tied to loyalty, it hits them like a landslide. Not just emotionally, but existentially. Leo dogs don't just feel hurt. They feel wronged. They remember the exact date, the exact sentence, the exact moment their trust cracked. And once it's broken, they rarely attempt to repair it. They'll be civil, polite, even supportive from afar, but that inner circle, you're out, forever. Their forgiveness may be granted externally, but access to their heart is never restored. Yet underneath all of these dark patterns is a central truth. Their shadow is born from belief. They believed in you. They expected something real. And when that belief is shattered, the pain isn't just personal, it's foundational. Their silence is grief. Their control is fear. Their ego is armor. So, if you ever find yourself on the receiving end of their coldness, take a breath. Ask yourself honestly, what promise did I break? Because chances are, they're not punishing you. They're just protecting what's left of themselves. The Leo dog's darkness is never aimless. It's the wounded roar of someone who gave everything, and didn't get it back. Life goals, building a legacy that matters. Leo dogs are not wired for mediocrity. The idea of simply surviving or floating through life feels like a betrayal to their very soul. They crave meaning, movement, and a mission. They don't just want to exist, they want to impact, to inspire, to ignite. Every decision they make, whether in love, work, or friendship, is filtered through a subconscious question: will this matter? That internal compass pushes them toward a life of purpose, one where they aren't just participants, but active architects of a legacy that endures. They want to build something bigger than themselves, something that ripples through others, even after they're gone. At their core, Leo dogs are legacy-driven creators. They don't care about surface-level success. They care about depth, contribution, and longevity. They want to raise a family rooted in values, not just appearances. They want to build a business that gives back, not just generates profit. They want to write the book, paint the picture, launch the project. Whatever it is, it must mean something. They feel called to leave behind tangible proof that they were here, that they mattered, and that they left the world a little better than they found it. That drive doesn't fade with age, it intensifies. The older they get, the more determined they become to make their mark. Their desire to be seen and respected is never shallow, it's soulful. Leo dogs don't want empty praise or vanity metrics. They want to be respected because of how they carried themselves, how they loved others, how they showed up when it counted. They pursue goals that align with a deep moral code, often refusing shortcuts or popularity contests in favor of slow, steady, character-driven success. It's not just about power, it's about purpose. They want to inspire trust, to be someone others look up to when everything else is uncertain. They want to be remembered not just for what they achieved, but for how they achieved it. Their impact is most powerful on a personal level. Whether it's mentoring a younger colleague, supporting a struggling friend, or raising children who are kind, thoughtful, and brave, Leo dogs' change lives quietly and consistently. They don't always need grand gestures to feel fulfilled. Sometimes, hearing someone say, "You helped me believe in myself," is worth more than any trophy or title. That's the sweet spot for a Leo dog. A life filled with meaningful connection, genuine respect, and a legacy built on love, effort, and intention. They are workers by nature, relentless in pursuit of what matters most to them. When they commit to a goal, they go all in. Blood, sweat, soul, nothing is held back. They love with that same intensity, pouring themselves into relationships and causes until they've given every ounce of what they have. Yes, they stumble, they fail, they fall hard, because they care that much. But every time they fall, they rise higher, stronger, and wiser. That resilience is part of their legacy too. The ability to rise again, and again, and again, refusing to let the world dim their fire. If you know a Leo dog, you're likely already standing in the glow of their purpose. You felt the way they lift others up, the way they hold space for dreams, yours and theirs. Their energy doesn't just light a path for themselves, it illuminates the way for everyone around them. And if you are a Leo dog, know this: your combination of fiery heart and steadfast spirit is rare. The world needs your leadership, your loyalty, your vision. Walk boldly, because you are building more than a life. You are crafting a legacy that will echo long after your voice is gone. Your purpose is your power. Your presence is your imprint. And your story is the light someone else will one day follow. So go write it, with courage, with conviction, and with all the roaring love that only a Leo dog can give. If this deep dive into Leo dogs spoke to your soul, or made you realize you might be dating one, smash that like button, subscribe for more astrological explorations, and check out the links below for even more personality deep dives. Because let's be real, how often do you come across someone who radiates with the bold warmth of the sun and anchors that fire with the loyalty of the dog? If you're seeing your partner, your best friend, or even yourself in every single word of this profile, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit that like button as a thank you to the Leo dogs of the world, the fierce protectors, the soulful romantics, the legacy builders. Subscribing not only brings more of these deep, personal insights to your screen, it also keeps you tapped into an evolving conversation about identity, love, destiny, and everything the stars dare to whisper. There's a good chance you've been inspired, intrigued, or maybe even a little called out by what you've just read. That's the beauty of astrology when it's done right. It doesn't lock you into a box. It hands you a mirror and asks, what will you do with this truth? So if you're ready to learn more, reflect deeper, and unlock the cosmic patterns that shape your choices, dive into the links below. Whether you're exploring other zodiac combos or decoding your own unique blueprint, there's always another layer to uncover. And remember, the stars may guide us, but you write your own story. Astrology isn't destiny, it's a language, a lens, a way to understand yourself and others more deeply. It's not here to tell you what to do. It's here to help you recognize who you already are, and who you're becoming. Leo dogs may walk with pride and power, but at the end of the day, it's the choices they make, in love, in work, in friendship, that define their legacy. So keep learning, keep reflecting, and keep showing up as the brightest, boldest version of yourself. Because the universe, it's still writing chapters, and your story's far from over. See you in the next one.